Let's talk about Curse Mode. Curse Mode is the most anticipated mode, I would say, in the upcoming release of Black Ops 7, which is supposed to be a blast from the past sort of mode integrated into the normal zombies. But the leaks that we have been getting from Black Ops 7 and for this game mode have not really been promising. So I wanted to make this video just to talk about my thoughts and the leaks on Curse Mode. But you guys know how it is. If you like this video, make sure to drop a like and drop a comment on what you think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more of this sort of stuff as well. So I want to get into the pre-leaks of Curse Mode. I want to talk about the time where Curse Mode was just getting around and people were just first hearing about it. So people got the leak that apparently there was going to be 4 perks, there was going to be a certain amount of things you could do in terms of armor, weapon upgrades, and only starting with a pistol, which in theory all sounded brilliant. It sounded great, and to be expected, the zombies community was hyped about it because that is the formula that most of us enjoy. Sorry, Black Ops 6 players. But that was the utmost and utter truth, that we want this mode back. However, I had my speculations. I had said multiple times on stream that I was worried for the mode, as because of the fact that modern zombies would not work with no armor. Let me give you an example. So Black Ops Cold War is basically the prime example I'm going to use here. Let's just say you started with a pistol and you had no armor in Black Ops Cold War. I'm sorry, but the armor is in place for a reason. The zombies are ridiculously fast, and it is very, very easy to get smacked up in Cold War. And the game would start perfectly fine. Around round 7, I think it would start to get more intense, and it would get bad quickly. Because as we all know, the zombies get faster to the point where they become faster than you. So if Curse Mode were to do this ideology of removing armor entirely, high rounds would be pretty much near impossible. Would it be a classic mode? It wouldn't feel like the classic mode, because the classic mode, you can kick back, you can relax, you can just chill. But if Curse Mode doesn't properly balance it, then how is it going to work? You're going to get smacked up by round 20. Genuinely, I would be impressed if anyone could get past round 30. And some people would argue, oh yeah, no, but I like that sort of challenge. I like that. It just doesn't define of what comms zombies used to be. It's not a super try-hardy mode where you have to sit there and like lock in for every single game. The beauty of zombies is that there is a level which can be reached, which makes you in the top 1%, but there's also many things to do and to chill in zombies. For example, in my favorite map, the Draha, I don't look for the Easter egg or speedrun every single game, do I? No. I don't try to break world records every time I try it. I play it just so I can relax, you know? I can play, chill, talk to my friends and play zombies. Curse Mode would not replicate this at all. Not even slightly. And that's why I think that without major changes to the actual game, for example, nerfing the amount of zombies, nerfing how fast the zombies are, nerfing the amount of damage they do to them to make the experience actually playable, it would be needed in order for them to actually make a good mode. But hey, don't worry, there's a solution that they have come up with, and this is more of a recent leak that I've heard. They are considering, are you ready? Adding armor anyway. So the main selling point of your game, to where most OG players are going to come back and give a shot, you're going to remove that entirely. Not only is this one of the most illogical things I have ever heard, it is also incredibly counterintuitive for what they're trying to do with the mode. If they're going to add armor anyway, what's really the point? Like, you're just playing a slightly harder version where the wall weapons are a bit more crucial? That's really all you're doing. It's still going to be the same zombies. You're just going to have a gun without attachments. Like, genuinely, I don't see the point in making this change, because you're not going to attract many zombies players back to the game with this. And also, I want to talk about the perks. The perks in Black Ops 6 and Cold War, with augments and with all the upgrades, are extremely strong. They make a significant difference. Let me give you an example. So, in Black Ops 3, we have a 4 perk limit. I know a lot of people use Unquenchable and on the house to, you know, increase their perk amount, but the base is 4. If you want to create a strategy around these 4, you can switch up your perks. But the main thing is that these perks do not make a difference. Not a significant one anyways. The only 2 crutches being Quick Revive and Juggernog. But the other perks won't actually affect the game that much. Whereas Black Ops 6 and Cold War, the perks incredibly affect the game. For example, if you don't have Deadshot, you're not doing damage. If you don't have Stamina up, you're not outrunning the zombies. If you don't have Juggernog, well, say goodbye to your health. If you don't have Quick Revive, you won't be able to get out of tight situations. Modern Zombies is built to have this sort of system where you're allowed to buy all your perks. It is cheesy, yes, but it is made for that. Or like Mule Kick in Cold War as well. You won't be able to get ammo from drops, which sucks. And in my opinion, this is not how you're supposed to do zombies. If you want to make modern zombies, then stick to what you already have. And like I said, forcing this mode to try and nostalgia bait players back into the game, it's not gonna work. And let's be honest, that's exactly what this is. This is what this scandal was about, is to bring back OG players and to nostalgia bait further than what they already have. And this is the whole ideology of Call of Duty. They want to cater to the casuals who will buy bundles and don't really care about the game balance and will just play whatever's put in front of them. It is the sad reality, unfortunately, and we can't defeat it. And it just goes to show the laziness that Treyarch and Activision are willing to go to not make a good game. For example, I'm going to show you what I would do for Curse Mode. If Curse Mode were a thing, I would remove armor, remove the weapon rarities, remove the whole starting with a class thing. I would make you go build your specialist and also no armor, and also to balance the zombies and the amount of elites that spawn, because the modern zombies without armor would be damn near impossible. And like I said, that is not what we know zombies for at all. And also I want to talk about the initial leaks for Curse Mode being, oh yeah, if once you complete the Easter egg, you will then unlock it. You, just by that single decision, they have driven away half of the community from wanting to try Curse Mode. But obviously they have come out and said that now only when the first player who ever does it, the Easter egg, when the game releases, then we will get Curse Mode. And that I do have to credit. But like I said, ever since Curse Mode got leaked and we got information about it, etc, etc, I have had my speculations, and I do think Treyarch is going to mess it up somehow. Pessimistic thinking? Mayhaps. But after having these many games where Treyarch have tried to cop out and be lazy, it's kind of hard to have belief that something will be good. I also want to touch on the fact that relics now exist in the game. And the way that you can do relics is that you have to find them within the game and apply them to the actual settings before you go in. I'm sorry, but this is really, really bad. I know they're trying to add progression to it somewhat or some way, but the fact that you now have to go in and play the game, and you might disagree with a setting, you might disagree with this setting, but no, you just have to sit there and suffer through the game. Which, once again, you're going to put off a lot of the fan base with this small, seemingly tiny decision. But I completely disagree with this relic sort of idea. Let's look at Black Ops 4, for example. We had custom mutations in Black Ops 4, and they were brilliant, because you could customize the game however you liked, and I thought that was fantastic. No need for relics, no need for grinding, just a fun little side mode that you could endeavor whenever you want with your friends, and it was great, right? One of the things that I will credit BO4 for, even though it didn't do much good. So Treyarch have had this power before to give us a mode where we can just, do our own thing and mess around and have fun. But no, they have to throw more progression in so you keep playing for longer and they keep your attention. It really should not be seen as a high quality of life thing in order for you to go through the entire mode and find relics. And how do we even know if we're going to be collecting the relics that we want? If you're finding relics, you're basically putting it down to RNG whether we get the setting that we want. Unlocking settings just sounds ridiculous. Let me put it on the flip side as well. For example, in multiplayer, if you went into a custom game and I told you, oh wait, no, you have to go find a relic in public games or multiplayer in order for you to do this setting in custom games, isn't that just contradictory and quite honestly stupid? Wouldn't you think so? Because I would riot if that was the case. Why can't we have modes where we can just do what we want and play a certain way? Well, this has never been done for a mode before, and I still entirely disagree with this whole ideology of unlocking something through playing it. That's what levels are for, that's what the guns are for, that's what the augments are for. We already have systems in place that encourage the player to go and play the game. And if they don't feel like unlocking it, it shouldn't be an absolute must. You should give the advantage to the players that want to unlock it, absolutely, I agree with that. But to change base game mechanics and the the base game, whether how much you have grinded or not, I think is really, really, really dumb. But those are my main concerns for curse mode. If you guys enjoyed this video, please tell me what you think in the comments if you think curse mode is going to be good and your stance on it, because personally I can't get excited about it and I still do have my doubts, but I am willing to try it when it does come out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.